All right, welcome back to another episode of the Stich Method with unlocking Led Zeppelin riffs with Stich. I am really excited to do this lesson, and if you're new to this channel, bear with me, it all makes sense, and if you're a subscriber, welcome back. Grab your guitars, this is going to be good, so here we go. All right. I love Led Zeppelin, and for all of you who watch my videos, I've done a couple of videos on improvising on some Led Zeppelin riffs. And I was playing guitar the other day, and I said to myself, oh my god, you know, why haven't I done a lesson on all the teachings that I teach and how they apply to Led Zeppelin? Because Led Zeppelin was really one of the first bands that made me want to play guitar and really dive into music. So what I mean by that is that this video is going to rely heavily on my blues trick #1 video, or my #1 blues trick video. I'll link it below. You'll see how just that one video, that one concept, you can start breaking down several Led Zeppelin riffs. So let's talk quickly about Led Zeppelin. Now, Led Zeppelin, when they first came out, they were billed as a heavy metal blues band. And that's because they were pretty much playing the blues with distortion. And Jimmy Page had years of experience already in playing in blues bands, studio work, so he understood a lot about guitar, which you obviously know. And the first two Led Zeppelin albums are really inundated with this blues rock. And so when you get to Led Zeppelin 3, they start to kind of really break away from that. And then Led Zeppelin 4 and House of the Holy and all the later albums that come, every riff that Jimmy Page lays down is amazing. And what I want to talk about really is not on the first two albums, but the later stuff. How when you have a training or when you have an eye for a certain mode of thinking, that stuff comes into your riffs. It's like you're magnetized to do it. And what I mean by that is, if you're used to writing a riff in a certain way, or you're used to seeing the guitar in a certain way, then the riffs that you approve of, or the riffs that like you write, consciously try to work out, or just pop out, they all are going to have your signature sound in them. And so we're going to discuss 4 riffs by Jimmy Page in the later years of Zeppelin, beyond 1 and 2, albums 1 and 2, so that you can see that the blues mentality stuck with them. So first, let's go over the riffs first. The first song I guess I'm going to do would be this one. The second one I'll do is, let's see. Alright, the third one we're going to discuss. And the fourth one. So what do these all have in common? Well, my blues trick #1 video. No, they don't have my thing in common, but they have the understanding of it. So the blues trick #1 video is all about how when you're playing the blues, and if we're playing an E blues, you're playing the E minor pentatonic over a 7th chord. And there's my 7th chord. And for those of you who are familiar with this, bear with me. For those of you who are new, watch this stuff, okay? And the blues is the sound, that minor pentatonic over that 7th chord. And the blues trick #1 video is about bringing in that note into your scale. The major third of the chord. Here's an E7, that's the major third. This note is not in the scale. So we get this extra note, this G sharp. This is a G sharp when we're playing an E. Oh, geez. And you can bring that into your playing. And now let's take a look at our first riff. Nobody's Fault But Mine. Alright, so this whole thing is an E minor pentatonic. So we have this all pentatonic. Still pentatonic. Now right now, he brings in the major third. Here's a pentatonic riff that doesn't have a major third. It's a minor pentatonic with a major third put into it. And this is in the later years, and this is a blues move. This is exactly where it comes from. His mentality of playing the scale has the major third in it. Hence this riff. And notice just really quickly how he puts in the major third close to the end of the riff. That's a signature Jimmy Page trait. So now we're just going to use that to understand some other riffs. Let's go to, okay, what was it? Hey, hey, what can I do? Now, Hey, hey, what can I do starts in A. So let me show you what's happening here. If I take an A minor pentatonic, you have the root note, you have the minor third, you have the 4, the 5, and the flat 7, and back to the 1. And in A minor pentatonic, you have the A, and then you have that C, that's the minor third. And then the major third, boom, C sharp. All right, so you have A, C, and I can play my C sharp here. Again, blues trick number 1, bringing in the major third into your minor pentatonic. The eyes of a blues player. This is how this riff, well, not how, but why Jimmy Page approves of it. All right, so now you have this 1, minor third, major third, C sharp. Now I can play an A chord here, just like this. And what I can do is I put my middle finger on the C, which is the minor third. But now when I play the song, I'm going to touch the major third. There it is right there. Now, and that note right there is the 6, and this is actually a little blues shuffle. It comes from the blues shuffle. But anyway, when I heard the song the first time, never did I think that that line was a blues line. But here's your A, here's your minor third, here's your major third, and then to the A chord. So you get this starting here. This A riff that is coming on the minor third, just to show you when it comes back around. I wanna tell you, I'm singing your love, right? My shit looks so fine. Really on that minor third. So there's that blues riff again. You'll see where this is all going. So we have an A minor pentatonic type thing, or an A blues shuffle. There's a 6. But you can see the minor third and the major third rubbing back and forth together. Again, that's the blues trick number 1 video I'm talking about. Taking a song and making the minor third from the scale and the major third from the chord being played work together on a riff. That's a riff number 2. We'll come back and visit everything. Riff number 3. What was riff number 3? Was it? Oh, it was The Ocean. Okay, awesome. So here is The Ocean, which is one of my favorite songs. Again, I have a video on how to improvise over it, but let's take that first opening riff, right? Okay, if I didn't screw it up all the time. Alright, so now that's straight up pentatonic, like straight up A minor pentatonic. There's no doubt about this. And then this guy. And guess what? What is that? The major third. The same major third as this. Oh, yeah. There it is there. So going to that major third. Now, I've got to express this again. It's not that Jimmy Page was like, well, let me use the major third. Maybe he was, maybe he didn't, excuse me. We'll never know. But the thing is that he approved of the sound. He said, that's a sick riff. I like it. And the reason being is because, you know, when you play something for so long and when you like something for so long and you write a riff that has those ingredients, you're going to love it. And Jimmy Page really likes writing these riffs that have major thirds and minor thirds back and forth. So let's look at The Ocean again. You have the minor pentatonic. Blatant major third. Again, blatant major third near the end of the riff when it's this rock thing, and it kind of lifts up the song, all right? So there's the major third of A, okay? Same major third here. Oh, sorry. Same one, just in a different place. Now, if you're curious about how to play these songs, look up the tabs, all right? The tabs, I'm playing exactly what you're going to find in the tabs. Now, the last song we're going to do is Houses of the Holy. And we have more to do, believe it or not. There's a lot to do. Houses of the Holy, great riff, again, back in A. And he's going to put his finger on the minor third. Houses of the Holy and I guess Hey, Hey, What Can I Do are such similar songs. But we don't know that because the rhythm and the distortion. But we had this starting off just like Hey, Hey, What Can I Do? This hammering onto the major third from the minor third. So you put your first finger on the second fret of the D string. And you got this guy here, the minor third. And then pull off to the open A. And then an A chord. So let's recap here. We have 4 riffs out of many. I can do a lot that have a minor third and a major third together. Now, a lot of people, when we're learning scales, we discuss this as, well, passing tones or breaking the rules or outside the box. And you can't think like that because, again, I'm referencing the blues trick #1 or the #1 blues trick video. You have to think about how chords and scales play together. And when you're a blues player, you're playing the minor scale on top of that 7th chord, and that major third of the 7th chord is fair game. The video I did about Peter Green, Carlos Santana, and the blues turnaround, that major third is an important note to bring into your scale work. So you get this hybrid scale type thing where you can play minor pentatonics and put in the major third, because in blues you're hearing them at the same time. So now, one thing I want to discuss before we keep moving forward is if you look at my video, The Power of the 5, and it's somewhere on my video channel, I talk about how the 5 is a great note to bring it back home to the 1. And if you go back to Nobody's Fault But Mine, you get this riff. Excuse me. Oh my god, I'm stuck on this one. Then we have... And if you notice, there's your 1, 1, 4, 5. So how does he end it? 5, 4, major third, 1, touching the 5. Okay, so that's a little spice on the ending. So let's talk. Breaking down some Led Zeppelin riffs. I'm repeating myself to like at the point of nauseum, I guess I say it, or ad nauseum. Is Jimmy Page is fundamentally a blues player, and he has that major third of the chord in mind. Another fair example, I know I'm talking a lot, but in the amazing solo for Whole Lotta Love, you know, that intro by John Bonham, and then we go bum bum. If you really listen to the track, he's holding down an E7 chord up here. He's holding down this chord. He's going, and you'll hear this note. Listen for it. Go to the album and listen for that note. Jimmy Page is a big fan of putting the major chord or the major third on top of the minor scales, and a lot of his riffs involve that. So now that we have that, what do you get to do? Well, you can study some Led Zeppelin riffs, or you can take this knowledge and start trying to write some riffs of your own. Now, writing style of Led Zeppelin is hard to do because of the timing, but you can start writing some really cool riffs. If I take a B minor pentatonic, just that, okay, I'll extend that. So actually, the reason being is that's the minor third here, minor third. So I have 1, flat 3, or minor third, 4, 5, flat 7, 1, and the minor third, which puts my major third right there, just like in the ocean, okay, right behind the 4, right there. So if I write a riff based in my B minor pentatonic, oh my god, I'm going to come up with something right now, I guess. There it is. When I'm near the end, bring in the major third. Okay, so I went from major third to 4 to 5. You go to the 5, you set yourself back up to come to the 1. So here's a riff. Let me turn on my distortion and see how it works here. Now, not necessarily a Led Zeppelin riff, but nonetheless a riff that I approve of, right? It has that minor bite of the pentatonic, bringing in the major third. Now, one trick that I know that Jimmy Page does in his later years is he definitely loves to do this, like, minor third, up to the major third, up to the 4 here, like... So if I wrote, let me see, oh god, this is going to be embarrassing. If I wrote a song that was going to be on the later Led Zeppelin album, it's like... Not necessarily Led Zeppelin riff, but nonetheless a riff that I like. Incorporating the major third into your minor pentatonic helps you understand how some of these riffs came about. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I want you to go write some songs with minor pentatonics and putting in the major thirds. And that's pretty much it. Unlocking some riffs with Led Zeppelin with Stich. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your comments below. Subscribe if you liked it. I have many more videos to come. Rock and roll. Hope you like the new picture.